The Denver Nuggets get their first win of the NBA preseason in the last game. And y'all, there's a lot to take away from this. The Timberwolves, they rest their starters after playing in Chicago last night, but it really doesn't matter about the competition with Denver. How did they look? We're going to talk about all that and more. Y'all know what time it is. Let's get it. The Denver Nuggets beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 132-126 in their first win of the preseason. And y'all, they looked like they had something they were trying to earn tonight. Now, again, let me go ahead and put it out there. The Nuggets didn't play hard. They definitely were walking up and down the court at times. They had really good stretches, not so great stretches. The starters definitely were just there. And they put in effort when they needed to, but for the most part, it was really conditioning. It was really about their process, really about making sure that they're utilizing their playbook. There were a lot of things that happened tonight that didn't necessarily look perfect, but they were able to still find ways to get results tonight. And most importantly, I think the thing that most Nuggets fans that have been in my mentions were worried about was Jamal Murray. Well, I think Jamal Murray was able to put a lot of that to the rest tonight. Jamal Murray tonight, 25 points and 5 assists. He was 6 of 13 from the field, but he was 5 of 6 from 3. So that means just 1 of 7 from 2 today. So that's not great, but 5 of 6 from 3. And he was 8 of 8 from the free throw line. Actually, that's a huge deal for me. Jamal Murray has not traditionally been a high leverage free throw player just because he doesn't create a lot of contact. But Jamal was able to do that today, obviously granted versus the Wolves' second and third team. And I think there are going to be some things that he could definitely continue to add into his game this year in creating contact. But overall, you just wanted to see Jamal Murray have a good game. You just wanted to be able to watch him play and hit shots and move around and play, make, and pass. And I will say, again, 29 minutes for Jamal. It's not like this is like a regular season, masterclass or a playoff masterclass that Jamal Murray's had. It wasn't anything like that. But what it was is, I think, good process. And Jamal Murray was getting 3-point shots up. And I told you all multiple times on multiple platforms that one of the things I want for Jamal to do is just to get up 3-pointers, just put them up, and to allow for his natural shooting ability really to kind of be the thing that changes the atmosphere of the Denver Nuggets offense. And today he did that. 5 of 6 from 3 was really good. And again, you're not expecting him to do that almost maybe ever the rest of the season. He obviously will go on stretches like that. But again, Jamal Murray's a 42.5-point 3-point shooter last year. I mean, just incredible. Jamal Murray, like the last 3 years, is like 41.5% from 3 on pretty good volume. And so that's the thing. Jamal has this ability to be able to raise his level at will as a shooter just because of how talented he is as a finisher. But yeah, this is kind of where we are right now. And I think Jamal played really well. And I think that you got a chance to see what you want from him. He looks good. He looks healthy. I mean healthy as in, if he has like anything lingering, it wasn't like affecting him. Definitely once he sees harder defenses, that's going to force him to work harder. But I think even just in the Wolves series, if you give yourself a chance to kind of, put away obviously game 1 and 2, but look at games 3 and 4, look at games 5, and then look at game 6 or game 7 rather. Jamal Murray, even in versus the best defense in the league, was able to have really good performances. It was inconsistent due, I think, to the injuries. But Jamal, when he's able to get to where he needs to be, I think he looked really good. And so I'm excited to see kind of how he continues to carry that into the regular season. They got a full week off now until they get to the OKC Thunder game next Thursday. And y'all, I can't wait for the season to start. So shout out Jamal. I'm going to get to the starters in a minute, but I want to highlight another high point today. Julian Strawther, man. I told you all that I think his approximation is Jordan Poole. Ryan Blackburn thinks that he's about a year away from what Jordan was in 2021-22 season when they won the title with the Warriors. I don't know. I think I might be a little closer to that. I think Julian can get there this year at some point. And the reason is it's just going to be opportunity and demand. One of the things about basketball, similar to life, is that when the opportunity presents itself and then the moment demands greatness, you either respond and you meet that expectation and you rise to the occasion, or you don't respond and you fade away. And then for basketball players, they lose those minutes and they lose their value and their career changes. Julian Strawther strikes me as someone who sees an opportunity in front of him, wants to seize that opportunity, and he wants to show that there's levels that he's going to get to as a player that just not many players in the league can do. Look, Julian Strawther today plays 30 minutes. He played 30 minutes, 33 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he was 8 of 13 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3. And again, I want to just be clear about that. That's one of the things that makes him so dynamic is how quickly and how often he gets up 3-pointers. The same thing I'm asking for Jamal, he's able to do. And look at Julian Strawther, 5 of 8 from 3, but he was 12 of 13 from the free throw line, y'all. 12 of 13 from the free throw line. Again, second and third team. But what does that tell me? That means he can create contact. He can get downhill. He can force the defense to have to respond to him offensively. And I think that's a big deal. I think that's a big deal that you're able to figure out how to do that as an offensive player, and even as a young offensive player, that you're able to figure out how to leverage your own gravity to be able to use in such a dynamic way. Julian Strawther today had with a plus 11 in his minutes, helped them to secure that victory down the stretch. And again, this is your backcourt. 25 points for Jamal on 5 of 6 from 3, and then 33 points from Strawther on 5 of 8 from 3. Like, that's a big deal. And I think the thing that Julian is going to be able to add to this team is Christian Braun, I think, is going to have really good moments. And I mean moments. I think his defensive floor is fairly high. But offensively, Christian Braun he's pretty limited right now. Today, he had a really good game relative to the rest of the preseason. 28 minutes, 11 points, 6 rebounds. That's one of the things Christian's going to do at a really, really high level for a 2-guard. It's a rebound. That's going to be something in ending possessions and continuing possessions. That's going to be, if you can flip a game by 2 to 4 points a game just on your rebounding, like that ends up being a big deal. I hope people think about that when they're thinking about defense or thinking about offensive value. If you can flip 1 or 2 possessions every game just on the basis of your rebounding, you're creating more opportunities to go anywhere from an extra 2 to an extra 8 points, an extra 7, 8, 6 points per game just off of rebounding. So I think that this is just a really interesting thing, man. So 11 points, 6 rebounds, 1 or 2 from 3. You love to see it. Another thing that I thought was really encouraging, was that Christian Braun was 6 of 8 from the free throw line. And Christian is not a dynamic free throw shooter. He's not a dynamic mid-range shooter, anything like that. But he's going to get to the line because of how physical he is and how big he is and how athletic he is. And so if Christian can find ways to utilize that over the course of the year, again, his offensive value goes up, and I think his value to the team continues to go up as well. But again, a lot of that's going to have some variance attached to it. Christian just doesn't have the offensive game that predicates itself to some of that at a very high level, but I think he can really make some strides this year. And ultimately, he played a good game today. And then also Aaron Gordon, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 of 6 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, 3 of 6 from the free throw line, plus 7, had a block. AG looks good. AG, the reports are that he can get a contract extension at any point this season. So I know him and the Nuggets are working on that. Hopefully that gets done quickly. He's probably going to be about $30-35 million a year. I can imagine. So like a 4-year, 120, if not a little bit more. Because again, OG Anunoby got way more than that. So I do expect him to be able to get a deal hopefully soon. But he looks good. And 24 minutes played tonight, 5, 4, and 5. That's the kind of player AG is. He can create, he can rebound, he can score a little bit. And I think he's going to have some really good moments. And so I'm excited to see what he does this year. Michael Porter Jr., again, one of the stories of the season so far for the Nuggets is Michael Porter. Porter has just been able to put together such a well-rounded and impactful preseason so far, because he truly has been able to take some leaps as a player, in that he's being aggressive and going to the basket. He's being aggressive and going to the rim. He's finding ways to contribute beyond just his prototypical shooting, which is elite, obviously. And I think that he's adding a dynamic to this team. I think it looks like, for me, Michael Malone is making a tangible effort to try to get Porter more opportunity. And what's happening with that is that it's allowing for him to be able to expand his game in ways. And even, he got ripped last game, but he tried to, do some dribble penetration, dribble handoff, like crossover. And the thing is just like Porter being more confident in his handle and the team being more confident in handle is really important. I think in just helping to balance out the overall roster. Was 16 and 8, 7 and 9, and then 1 of 1 from 3 for Porter, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. That's really good. Shout out Michael Porter. Nikola Jokic tonight. This was your prototypical don't really care about this game. It's preseason or it's a bad team. Don't really want to do this. 28 minutes, 4 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 of 5 from the field, one block, 3 steals. He had 3 turnovers tonight, trying to pass the ball all over the place. He was a +8. Really nothing to say. This is just not Jokic's thing today. I mean, he had really good scoring game versus the Celtics in back-to-back games, really good scoring game versus the Suns, and now he's just kind of like, I'm not doing this to this backup team for the Timberwolves. So I think the thing that I want to see come regular season is their defense pick up the energy again, and their offense, frankly, really their sharpness. Because when the Nuggets are in preseason, it's really difficult, I think, for them because it's Jokic is the lead and the head of that snake, for them to be able to muster up energy consistently in a preseason setting, which I think it's for every team. Like, everybody's kind of looking at the Nuggets because you're obviously watching the Nuggets, but if you watch the preseason as a whole, most teams do that, and not all the teams do that. I mean, the Celtics even did that a little bit. The OKC Thunder did that a little bit. That's just kind of what happens. But I do hope that when Thursday comes around, everybody's just like, look, this is big boy time. It's time to play winning basketball, and let's get that done. So, again, the starters were good. Murray had a really good game. Vlaco Chanchar off the bench, 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists, 4 of 6 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. He was a +13 in his minutes. Love to see it. I do want Vlaco Chanchar to continue to get healthier and healthier and healthier. That would be like a big deal. I think that he adds some athleticism and some shooting and some scoring to this roster that they definitely need. And so I definitely want to continue to see how they continue to integrate Vlaco Chanchar, but how he continues to find himself within the flow of the offense and all that stuff as well. So shout out Vlaco, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Russell Westbrook today, interesting game. So the first thing is Russ had 5 turnovers today, which is obviously, just a bit too much. But Russ, 13 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 of 7 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Now, I think there's going to be a very real possibility where Russ is going to give you this year, 11 to 13 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. That's well within the possibility for Russ this year. But when Russ is like out of control and like he's obviously everybody kind of watch Russ, that's when he's at his worst. But when Russ is in control and then when he's coming downhill, especially in transition or beating you off the dribble, and he finishes at the rim, those are the things that make Russ like another kind of rotation player. And I think Russ has had some really good moments in this preseason so far. I think there's a very clear fit. And especially, again, the first Celtics game when they were Julian Strawther, Michael Porter Jr., Vlaco Chanchar, and Dario Saric. They were out there with Russ in the second unit, and spacing around Russ was incredible, and he was able to find so many opportunities for players to be able to shoot and score. And so I think Russ is going to have some real opportunity with this team, and I'm excited for him to do it. Dario Saric today, I think his best game, 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. He was 4 or 5 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3, 4 or 4 from the free throw line. I definitely like the way that he plays connected basketball. Not a great rebounder, not a defensive player in really any stretch. Malone was flirting with the Sarge Jokic minutes. I don't want to see anything like that in the regular season. I don't want to see just a negative athlete next to Joker. That's just not what you want to see in the NBA setting. But I think he's going to have really good value off the bench, especially with this culmination of players. Zeke Naji today, 14 minutes. He was a +6 in his minutes, played good defense, I think, good positional defense. 1 rebound and 2 assists. Didn't score, didn't hit threes today, didn't shoot a 3. But I think Zeke has earned time. I think they've earned a 10-man rotation with Russell Westbrook, Julian Strawther, Peyton Watson, Zeke Naji, and Dario Saric. That would be my 10-man rotation I would have for this team. Overall tonight, the Denver Nuggets 55% from the field, 58% from 3. They were 15 of 26. Not enough 3-pointers again. 76% from the free throw line. They went to the free throw line 49 times. And the Wolves went to the free throw line 30 times. That goes to show you, preseason, sloppy, young, a lot. All that stuff was added in there. 49 free throws for the Nuggets. I can't remember the last time they had that many free throws, if ever. But I do want to see the 3-point shots go up. The Nuggets had 19 turnovers. 31 assists. The Nuggets are typically like a 30 to 11 turnover team, so they're going to need to get the turnovers down, keep the playmaking going. The Wolves had 20 turnovers, 26 assists. Nuggets had 43 rebounds and 6 offensive rebounds, 7 blocks, 8 steals, 28 personal fouls. Overall, the Nuggets win. Jamal Murray gives you the game that I think you needed to see from him. You get Julian Strawther, 33 points off the bench. Michael Porter Jr. had a very good preseason. Now, he got beat off the dribble, I think, 3 times in the first quarter, like on closeouts, and so you don't love that. But overall, man, I mean, I can't tell you, like, I'm super encouraged by what I saw from Michael Porter, and I think that this team has some levels to it and layers to it that I think are going to be really beneficial for the rest of this year. Overall, y'all, what do y'all think about the preseason? What did you think about tonight? Jamal Murray, 25 and 5 tonight. Julian Strawther, 33 points off the bench. Man, looks like he's taking his Jordan Poole 2022 leap. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Are you ready for the NBA season? Who do you think stood out for the Denver Nuggets tonight? Y'all know what time it is, Swipa gang. I'll see y'all on the other side. We out.